Hello everyone, welcome to the Football Doctor channel. This is TFD Bites episode number 4. So today we have something important to discuss and current that is happening in the football world. So let's listen to Dr. Subra.
Good evening everyone. Thank you, Ravi. Yes, this is a topic that it has been mind-boggling. It has actually also put us to think about the way football is being conducted in this country. Now, Kelantan FC and Negeri Sembilan FC played a game in Kelantan, in Kota Baru. And I'm just summarizing. Yeah, and during the injury time, Kelantan made a substitution, and Negeri claims that that was the fourth substitution. Now, first we must establish a case. First of all, what was the issue? The issue here is Kelantan was accused of using an extra player, okay, a fourth substitute, which they should not have. Now, what does the rules of the competition say? The rules of the competition says you can have 5 players assigned for substitution. Out of these 5 who are eligible, you can only use 3 players. Okay? If you have used 1 player, they have 4 more players available. All these 4 players are eligible. If they use the second player, they have 3 more players to use. All 3 are eligible. The moment they use the third player, the other 2 players become ineligible because the rules of the competition doesn't allow. So we have to establish the fact that if a 4th player from either one of these 2 go into the pitch, it becomes playing an ineligible player, pemain yang tidak layak. Okay, so that has to be established. And by the mere fact that MFL punished Kelantan with a 30,000 fine and suspended the match officials for 6 months, clearly shows there was discrepancy in the decision in the game. Okay, what issue was this? It was a disciplinary case. It has to be. You have to take disciplinary action. Suspension of the match officials is disciplinary action. Fining Kelantan FC is a disciplinary act. Okay, now we have to establish that it is a disciplinary act. The next one that we got to ask ourselves is MFL in a position to hear all competition matter cases, or MFL hears only certain cases like application into the league, application to play in the league, and so on? And they also have to establish if they can hear disciplinary cases, because the first appeal by Negeri Sembilan and the second appeal by Negeri Sembilan was rejected by MFL. Now the next question is MFL, or does MFL have the jurisdiction to hear the case? Okay, I went through the competition rules. It says that the decision taken by the board is final. But again, the competition rule also says, competition rule of the manual Liga Malaysia, Article 5, tindakan tata tertib, I'm reading it in Bahasa, it says that apa-apa tindakan ya kita akan ikut apa yang digariskan oleh Kod Tata Tertib FAM. That means whatever is stipulated in the FAM disciplinary code. So MFL has to demarcate the line to show us where their power lies and where is the power of the disciplinary board. Now, you cannot be the judge and the executioner. Okay, now there must be separation of powers, not only in the country, you should also have separation of powers in football. You cannot be the administrator, the administrating office of FAM or the league cannot also become the disciplinary board and also the appeals board. Yeah, so there is clearly encroachment of management into the judicial body of in this case. Yeah. Now, my next question is what does the FAM statute say? FAM statute says there are two judicial bodies. That is, namely the disciplinary body, the disciplinary board, and the appeals board. Only these two. The FAM statute does not say anywhere there that the disciplinary hearing can be heard by MFL. Okay, so that is establishing whose jurisdiction that is. And I really do not know what NSFC did. They may have sent a protest letter as what it is stated in Article 5.3.1 of the Manual Liga Malaysia, that a protest has to be sent within 72 hours to MFL. Now, in my opinion, MFL should have looked at the letter and ask yourself this question: do we have the jurisdiction backed by statute or constitution to say that we are rightfully the people to sit down and decide? And here I would say it's a disciplinary case. They do not have the right. So what they should have done is forward it to the FAM disciplinary board. The FAM disciplinary board will sit and deliberate, and if they find that there is no encroachment, the decision was right. Let's say the appeal cases also should have been sent to FAM's DB. Okay, but here MFL rejected. So I do not know whether it is FAM's disciplinary board that rejected or MFL rejected. The letter, the one that I saw, the statement, it says MFL rejected. So I feel there is some injustice or some overlooking of the rules, the regulations, the statute, and so on here. And because this result is very important for Negeri because they are in the second spot. Okay, it shouldn't be in such a situation where we have erred in our decision and another team, another club becomes the victim of our decision. And if you were to actually look back at other rules and regulations, one of the statement, the appeal statement replied by MFL says that although Negeri Sembilan has quoted FIFA disciplinary board, they say MFL does not have jurisdiction. If you do not have the jurisdiction, why do you decide? Don't you think you should give it to the people who have the jurisdiction? Okay, so if you look at the FIFA, let's just, for information's sake, let's go digress back to where the power comes. FIFA says the judicial bodies of FIFA are actually the disciplinary board, the appeals board, and the ethics committee. These are the three disciplinary judicial bodies of FIFA. Okay. Now, Malaysia, FAM, has got two judicial bodies. Malaysia has got disciplinary board and the appeals board. Okay. Now, it is very clear that FIFA provision 22, chapter 3 says that if an ineligible player is used, number one, you forfeit the match. Of course, there is a fine. They also fine the fourth player who went in. Okay? Now, that is FIFA's stand. And FIFA says an ineligible player is a player who cannot play on that particular day anymore. Not registered. Okay? Here, yes, the 5 players were registered, but the moment 3 substitution has been used, if you have one player who is injured, or one player, it's like a player sent off. You can't do anything. You are going to play with 10 players. So in this situation, 3 players have been used. The other 2 players become ineligible. So Kelantan has put an ineligible player to play. Now, if you look at the AFC disciplinary code, okay, the AFC disciplinary code, Article 56, okay, 56 subsection 1 and subsection 2 says very clearly that it's a forfeit, and a player is also fined. And rightfully, the FA Malaysia follows the disciplinary code of AFC and FIFA. And if you look at the FAM disciplinary code, Article 57 says very clearly that if you use an ineligible player, then it is a forfeit. Now, why in this situation, in this case, why didn't MFL follow that? That's one question. Okay. Number 2, they actually have found Kelantan at fault. Otherwise, they wouldn't have fined them 30,000, and they wouldn't have actually suspended the 4 officials for 6 months. That means there was a mistake. They have acknowledged that by doing these 2 things, right? Now, my question is, don't you think by putting the 4th player, if you do not punish, this will set a precedence in the future? Everyone can actually put a 4th player, maybe win a game, okay? Win a game at the 92nd minute and pay a 30,000 fine and get promoted in the next season. This is my take. So, are we setting a precedence? I think we should not. Because if we want to seek better future for the National Football Association, the national football teams, football on the whole in this country, we should not only be saying that we are doing the right thing, we should be seen doing the right thing. To me, in my little knowledge that I have on this, I feel that questions asked to me on whether it was a rightful decision, I thought I might as well have a discussion. Yeah, I'm not pointing a finger. I'm just asking why, if such a decision was taken, how are you going to justify by not giving a forfeiture to n.sembilan FC? Yeah, so I hope football lovers out there, anyone who knows really, maybe people from NSFC. I remember there was a newspaper report that said that Kelantan FC said that the match official allowed. They are not at fault. I think they got it wrong. It is the responsibility of the teams to keep a record of your suspensions, your cards, your substitution. It is your responsibility. You cannot throw the responsibility to the match official. Yes, the match officials are also human beings. In the heat of the game, at the last minute, they have actually, it was a wrong decision. It was maybe overlooked. They might not have done sincerely, purposely, okay, on purpose, but a mistake is a mistake. So a suspension of 6 months is fair for them. Okay, Kelantan was given a fine for 30,000, but who stands to lose? n.sembilan, who were not at fault at all, have got no reprieve. So I feel that the game should have been overturned, a forfeited game, and should have been declared in favor of n.sembilan. Okay, this is my opinion. You are welcome to write your comments in the Football Doctors page as soon as this comes out. And if there are any queries, we will answer it in the social media platform that we have published. Thank you very much. Good night. Have a good day. We hope for a better future in football in this country. Thank you. Bye.